Hello and welcome. Thank you for taking the time to join this Creative Nations information session. Creative Nations is part of the 2026-27 Arts and Cultural Funding Program and is designed to support First Nations individuals, groups and organisations across New South Wales. This program supports arts and cultural projects that are led by First Nations people and grounded in culture, community and country. In this video series, we'll take you step by step through how Creative Nations works. We'll explain what the program supports, who can apply, how the assessment process works, and how to prepare a strong application. Our aim is to make the process clear and accessible, so you can decide whether this funding is right for you and your project. This session has been designed as an inclusive space where you can use live captions, screen readers or other access tools if that helps your participation. Let's begin. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting today. I also acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining this session from across New South Wales and from other places. I pay my respects to elders past and present. I also recognise the strength, resilience and diversity of our communities, cultures and languages. Creative Nations exists because of the living culture that is practiced, created, shared and protected every day by First Nations people. This program is one way of supporting that work in recognising the cultural leadership that already exists in communities. In this session, we'll cover the key information you need to apply for Creative Nations. We'll start by explaining the purpose of the program and the types of projects it supports. We'll then talk about the funding amounts available, key opening and closing dates, who can apply and eligibility requirements, what activities can and can't be funded, and what types of costs you can include in your budget. After that, we'll walk through the assessment criteria. This will help you understand how applications are reviewed and what assessors are looking for. We'll finish with an application checklist and practical tips to help you apply clearly and confidently. All of this information is also available in the program guidelines, but this session gives you the opportunity to hear it explained in plain English. Creative Nations supports First Nations-led arts and cultural projects across New South Wales. The program funds the development, creation and presentation of arts and cultural work. This can include creative projects, community-led cultural activity, skills development, leadership and projects that build visibility and access for First Nations people. Creative Nations is about supporting work that is led by First Nations people and is grounded in culture, community and place, strengthens connection to country, and creates benefits that go beyond the life of the project. The program is open to individuals, groups, and organisations. Your project must be led by First Nations people or genuinely and meaningfully support Creative Nations priority areas. At its heart, this program is about backing strong ideas that come from community and contribute to cultural continuity and self-determination. Now let's talk about the funding available and key dates you need to know. Creative Nations offers flexible funding to support First Nations-led arts and cultural projects at different stages and scales. If you're applying as an individual or group, you can request between $10,000 and $75,000. If you're applying as an organisation, you can request between $20,000 and $100,000. Create New South Wales can fund up to 95% of your total project cost. This means you'll need to contribute at least 5%. That contribution does not have to be only cash. It can include in-kind support such as staff time, use of a venue, equipment, or unpaid support that directly helps deliver the project. The key thing is that your contribution is realistic, clearly explained, and directly connected to the work. Applications open on the 13th of April 2026. Applications close on the 25th of May 2026 at 2 p.m. sharp. Late applications cannot be accepted, so it's important to plan ahead and leave time to upload your material. If your application is successful, your project must start after the 1st of September 2026. Projects must be completed by the 31st of December 2027. This time frame is designed to give you enough space to plan properly, work respectfully with community, and deliver strong outcomes supported by culture, care, and good governance. If you're unsure whether your project timing or budget fits within these dates, we encourage you to get in touch early so we can support you. Now let's talk about who can apply for Creative Nations. You can apply if you are a First Nations person, group, or organisation. You must be 18 years or older, and you need to have been living or operating in New South Wales for at least 12 months. You will also need either an ABN or a funds administrator, also known as an auspice, if your application is successful. You can submit one application only in this funding round, so it's important to focus on your strongest project idea. Your project must align with at least one Creative Nations priority area. These include First Nations stories and communities, broad and inclusive communities and content, accessibility and equity, Western Sydney, regional New South Wales, and the next generation of creatives and audiences. If you're unsure whether you meet the eligibility requirements, we encourage you to talk with us early so we can provide guidance. Creative Nations supports arts and cultural activity that is new, renewed, or further developed. This includes development, creation, and presentation of work, community-led cultural activity, skills development and leadership, First Nations-led collaborations, and cultural activity costs such as artist fees, travel, promotion, accessibility, and cultural protocols. Creative Nations cannot fund costs that have already been paid. This includes course or education requirements, capital works or infrastructure, equipment not directly related to the project, fundraising, prizes, or paying off debt. You may be able to apply to remount or further develop existing work. However, you cannot apply for retrospective costs. If you're unsure whether something is eligible, it's best to check with us before applying. Eligible costs are expenses that are directly required to deliver your project. These may include fair payment for artists and arts workers, venue or space hire, travel and accommodation, mentorships, workshops and skills sharing, materials and consumables, marketing and promotion, project administration, accessibility supports, and First Nations cultural protocols and ICEP care. When preparing your budget, it's important to clearly show how each cost links to your project activities. Assessors are looking for budgets that are realistic, well thought out, and aligned with the outcomes you want to achieve. All applications are assessed against 6 criteria. The first 3 focus on your project's purpose and impact. The first is connection to country. You'll be asked to explain where the project takes place, why those locations were chosen, and how the project creates a meaningful connection to country and community. The second is your idea. This is where you describe what the project is, what you want to achieve, and what makes it strong, interesting, or important. The third is diversity and participation. Here, you explain who the project is for, who will benefit, and how it reflects the diversity of First Nations people in New South Wales. Clear and direct answers help assessors understand your vision. The final 3 criteria focus on delivery and sustainability. The fourth is experience. You'll explain who is involved in delivering the project and what skills, knowledge, or experience they bring. The fifth is planning. This covers what will happen, when and where activities will take place, and how the timing supports your outcomes. The sixth is sustainability. This is about how the funding will be spent, how cultural protocols and accessibility are supported, and how the project is financially realistic and well managed. Assessors are looking for projects that are culturally strong, well planned, and achievable. Before you submit your application, it's important to check that everything is ready. All applications must be submitted through Smarty Grants. Make sure you have read the Creative Nations guidelines, checked your eligibility, prepared relevant work samples, prepared a clear project plan and budget, confirmed your priority area alignment, uploaded any supporting material that strengthens your application. Applications must be submitted by the 25th of May 2026 at 2 p.m. sharp. Late applications cannot be accepted, so give yourself enough time to upload and review everything before submitting. When writing your application, the most important thing is to write directly to the criteria. Answer each question clearly, explain what you will do, why it matters, and who it's for. Use plain language and avoid unnecessary detail that doesn't support your project. Start early where possible. This gives you time to gather quotes, support letters, work samples, and accessibility information. If you need support, alternative formats, or access assistance, these options are available on request. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for taking the time to watch this Creative Nations information session. We acknowledge the cultural leadership, creativity, and care that First Nations people bring to their work every day. Every project matters, whether it's large or small, creative or community focused. Your work contributes to cultural strength, identity, and opportunity. Remember, as you go into the application process, take your time, stay grounded in culture, ask for support when you need it, and trust your voice. If you have any questions or would like to talk through an idea, email firstnations@create.nsw.gov.au or call 02 9228 4578 or scan the QR code on your screen to book a meeting with a First Nations staff member. We look forward to seeing your application. Take care on country.